Many people think that the MIT economics department began in the 1940s when Paul Samuelson came to MIT. In fact, the history is much longer. MIT introduced a required undergraduate economics course in the mid-1880s. We think it was the first required undergrad econ course in the United States. And while the early years of the Department of Economics, it was largely a service department, helping train engineers and scientists to use economic analysis in some of their business and other activities. Over the years, the department played an important role in the broader economics profession. The first editor of the American Economic Review was Davis R. Dewey. He did that job for 30 years. The current editor is also one of my colleagues, Esther Duflo, although I think that her time in this role will probably be a little bit shorter than Dewey's. The key turning point for the department came in the early 1940s when the department launched a graduate program and Paul Samuelson and then several other leading scholars joined the faculty here. The first graduate student who was trained in the program was Lawrence Klein. He went on to win the Nobel Prize. It was a good way to start. At those days, the program was much smaller than it is today. The faculty admissions team did visiting interviews with many of the applicant students. In the late 1940s, they visited New York City and interviewed a prospective student named Kenneth Arrow. They concluded that his interests were a little off the beaten track within economics, didn't offer him a fellowship. And a few years later, MIT stopped using the interview process as part of its admission process. The MIT economics department grew rapidly in the 1950s and 60s. And by the mid-1960s, it had become a preeminent institution for training graduate students and was also the source of a remarkable amount of new and important economic research. The set of fundamental ideas that have emerged from the MIT department is kind of remarkable. It includes the theory of public goods, the overlapping generations model, the theory of economic growth, optimal tax theory. The Black-Scholes option pricing formula was discovered by the finance faculty right next door. The overshooting model of exchange rates due to Rudi Dornbusch and specification test methods in econometrics. The use of randomized controlled trials in development economics and elsewhere. Political economy and the links to growth theory. The exciting work in health economics like the Oregon Health Insurance Experiment. Work on market design and charter schools. All of that work and many other exciting projects have been undertaken here in the MIT Economics Department by our faculty and by our students.